When can I start?
Well, I'll be darned. Jim Harbaugh is leaving Michigan. I'm sure you guys have heard the news already. It seems like we're reaching a new dawn, a new age of college football. Nick Saban bounces out of Alabama a couple of weeks ago, and now Jim Harbaugh, after winning Michigan a national championship, is saying deuces, and he's off to the NFL. He's going to be the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. So he's going back to the NFL, which means, more importantly, Michigan's going to have to find their new guy as head coach. Now, if I'm Michigan, what I'm probably going to do here is, instead of going through this coaching carousel, this coaching search, and trying to find somebody that you may not get, I say screw all of that and stick with the guy that already coached a few games at Michigan, Mr. Sharon Moore. He took over as the interim head coach for Jim Harbaugh when he was suspended due to the cheating and blah, 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 blah. So, it wouldn't surprise me if Michigan, says screw the coaching search and just hires him as the main guy. Because, he is undefeated. He has wins over Penn State and Ohio State. Now, then again, Penn State's just eternally cursed to go 10-2 every year. So, granted, you kind of have to take that one with a grain of salt. But the Ohio State win, that was a good win. The thing is with Sharon Moore is that, he didn't look much different than when Jim Harbaugh was on the sidelines. Michigan did look a little out of sync on some plays. Maybe, the play calling was a little bit more conservative. Other than that, I didn't see anything out of sync necessarily when he was calling the shots rather than Jim Harbaugh. So if he ends up getting the head coaching job out of all this, then I will not be the least bit surprised. I think he's the right guy for the job. Not just because I think not just because I think he can be a pretty good head coach, but because it's obvious that, in my opinion, the players, I think, love this guy. I think the players get along with him really well. They know him well, and to have a guy like that become the head coach, I think, would be very, very beneficial for Michigan going forward, because you're taking a huge gamble when going out of your way to find a head coach like Alabama did. Now, Alabama did find a really good head coach in Kalen DeBoer, but you're seeing the after effects of that in the form of all these players transferring out and all these recruits backing out and decommitting. It's possible that if Michigan were to go out of their way and find somebody, or go out, grab somebody like, this is just a hypothetical here, Brian Kelly, you get what I'm saying here. Well, I don't think Michigan would do that. If they did, it could be very detrimental for the recruiting class. A lot of players might transfer out, and that'd be really good for a lot of SEC schools, a lot of ACC schools. That'd be really good for them, because all those players transferring out, if there are as many players transferring out as there would be for Alabama, that means a lot of these southern schools might get some pretty good players on their squad, and maybe some good recruits while you're at it. So, well, I don't think that's going to happen. There's a lot of uncertainty with this. We'll find out in the near future what exactly is being held for Michigan. Hell, we may find out today. You never know. I expect an announcement pretty soon at what Michigan has planned. Alabama didn't skip a beat when they hired Kalen DeBoer. I'm expecting the same thing with Michigan's decision, and I'm expecting it even quicker than Alabama. So, we'll see how it pans out. But, yeah, new age of college football. It really seems like all these, head coaches saying deuces and moving on. Now, unlike, Nick Saban, who's retiring, Harbaugh's just going to the NFL. His coaching career is far from over. Whether he succeeds in the NFL, no clue. But imagine this chaotic scenario. Harbaugh completely flops at the Chargers like Urban Meyer did, and instead of calling it quits after getting fired or something, he goes back to college. But would he go to Michigan, or would he go to somewhere else? I don't know. Crazy, crazy scenario right there. I'm sure people are going to be talking a lot about that. We're going to be hearing all about, well, what if Jim Harbaugh fails at, Chargers and then beat boo-boo-bop, boo-boo-bop. So, again, a lot of uncertainty with what's coming in the near future. So I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to seeing what pans out in the future. And if you're a Michigan fan, if I'm a Michigan fan, I'm just sitting back and enjoying the national championship. This is the best offseason for Michigan that they'll ever have. I'm not saying that Michigan won't win a national championship in the near future. Hell, they may. Sharon Moore might carry them into promised land again. But if I'm Michigan, if I'm a Michigan fan, I am absolutely sitting back and enjoying this offseason because nobody can say jack diddly doodah to you. It's a pretty good time. So, all right, well, that's all I have to say. Hopefully, wherever Jim Harbaugh goes, well, he's going to the Chargers, and however he does there, we're bound to find out. Hopefully, it pans out pretty well. We have no clue. So, looking forward to seeing how it goes, as well as the coaching search for Michigan. You tell me what you think down in the comments below. Should Michigan hire Butch Jones? I think that's the real question everybody's asking themselves.